Coming up shortly. First, let me remind you that we are a month away from one of the most highly anticipated domestic bouts in years as undefeated British heavyweights Daniel Dubois and Joe Joyce go head-to-head in the ring. And that's not all, because there's also the most dangerous heavyweight of all time taking on one of the greatest pound-for-pound fighters. Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. meet in an exhibition bout on the same night. And Joe Cole and Jermaine Genius watching with me. Let's start with the penalty, Joe. Did you agree with Glenn that it was a definite pen? Was Werner clipped?
Yeah, 100%. We talked in the briefing about how Thiago Silva controlled the situation. This is the opposite of what Thiago Silva did. This is a player panicking. He didn't need to make the tackle, and it was just one of them late ones. I think it felt for him at this moment in the game. His team were defending so well. Just one lapse, and then Jorginho, we've seen this. I mean, it amazes me every time I see it, because I don't know how he seems to send the goalkeeper the wrong way, but I think he just scuffed it. You see the keeper go, and he just scuffed it. It's unusual for him, and at this time Chelsea were in the ascendancy, and the goalkeeper would have been happy with his night's work at that point.
Yeah, a bit of an unorthodox save, shall we say, from him. What about Jorginho's penalties then? The second one he's missed this season. Is it time for another taker, do you think?
No, I still think he's the man. I think he's proven himself for Chelsea in big moments, in big games. Yes, he's missed a couple, this season, but it's unorthodox, and and I think when you take an unorthodox type penalty, it gives people more reason to say let's take a change. But the reality is he's still a very good penalty taker.
Absolutely. Well, what did you think of Hudson-Odoi's first Champions League goal? I don't think Safanov's going to want to see this one again.
I mean, he's a keeper that I think for Krasnodar has done well. A lot of talk about him in the national team, but he's not going to want to see this one again. And I think, as Joe said, Chelsea would start into probe. It wasn't quite happening for them, but it's just a pot shot from Callum Hudson-Odoi. A little bit of coolness in this little area of the pocket here from Havertz. Just gets his head up, finds his man. It's just a strike on target, from Hudson-Odoi. He's been quite quiet, really. I think there's a lot more to come from Callum, but that would have made him feel a lot better.
They've had to really grow into that half, haven't they? We could see Frank shouting faster from the touchline.
And I think he was bang on. I think when they set up and they had the two centre-halves had a lot of the ball, Rudiger and Zuma, and they wasn't. Glenn alluded to it in the commentary. They wasn't probing with the passes. Chilwell was being a bit passive. I think once they started moving it faster and getting it into Ziyech, into Callum, things started to open up, and I think they'll grow into it. There's more goals in this game. If I was Ziyech or Hudson-Odoi, Havertz, I'm thinking to myself, I could leave this game with a goal or two. Yeah, they'd fancy it.
OK, well, Chelsea have a working handballs that if it goes against you, you'd be furious.
Oh, you'd be furious if it goes against you. The rules are still a bit unclear, and they had a look at VAR. I mean, how can he get his hand out of the way there? It's a great strike. I mean, at this point, Krasnodar were really, their backs were against it. They were defending, but this is a fantastic penalty from Werner. I mean, he's hit that with some venom. JJ was saying he thinks it could have been in the corner. It could have done, but it's such a clean strike. It's gone past the goalie before he even moves, and he's another option on the penalty spot there, Werner, for Chelsea. Do
you prefer that technique to the hop, skip, jump?
I like any technique that goes in when it's Chelsea involved.
Well, that one certainly went in. He didn't mess about with that one. And then Ziyech got his first goal for them, Jermaine, on his first start. Yeah. What did you think of his overall night?
I think he had some really good moments in there, Ziyech. I think in particular in the first half, he was getting better as the half went on. And I mentioned the fact that fitness for him is of most importance right now. He is a player that relies a lot on his sharpness, and you can see there the quick feet in those tight areas. He's going to be a good player for Chelsea, and there's a man that thoroughly enjoyed that third goal going in for Chelsea.
Certainly did. I'm sure you enjoyed Pulisic's as well. He made an impact from the moment he came on, Joe, didn't he? I
mean, this lad's a real talent. I mean, it was a big miss at the start of the season not having him. I think Tammy does well here. He's hungry, Tammy. He wants to affect the game, so he gets into this position here, gets a bit of fortune, maybe he picks him out, and then lovely touch, gets it at target. The goalkeeper again, you've got to question him there, but I would argue he's one of the most important players in Chelsea's attacking third, because he can do everything. Pulisic, he can dribble, he can run without the ball, he gets in and scores goals. And the Frank would be delighted. Like I said, he couldn't have wrote the script better, Frank. All of the front boys scoring, everyone involved, another clean sheet. And it's just an impressive evening for the club.
How happy will you be without Silva being there to get that clean sheet tonight?
Yeah, look, they rode the luck at times. You know, it wasn't the most perfect performance. Frank will be able to kind of pick the bones out of those moments. They were in control, but just a few kind of scrappy moments, giving the ball away in areas they didn't need to. But at the end of the day, it says 4-0. And it's another clean sheet, and it's actually something you can build on with confidence as a manager and as a group of players as well. So he'll definitely be delighted with that.
Certainly can. Well, if you want to hear reaction from Frank Lampard, you can head to BT Sport's social media channels and the YouTube channel as well. Well, Joel thought he was going home, but we've got another game to look forward to.
We've got Messi to watch, Lindsay.
We've got Messi to watch. Jermaine is sticking around as well, but we are done and dusted in Russia, but still plenty for us all to look forward to this